All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to SA Boxing Talk. I'm here with South African football icon Mark Fish, and he'll be taking on Mack Rapapali, who's a radio host and also the Blue Ball Stadium announcer. Mark, welcome to SA Boxing Talk. How's how's it all going?
All good, thank you. Yeah, thanks very much for having me on your show. And yeah, it's for SA Boxing. It's good to hear that still people behind the scenes, if you want to say behind the scenes, heavily involved, trying to raise the sport to where we would love to see it because we've had a lot of prominent boxers from South Africa, and I'm sure we would love to see more. And yeah, so well done to the work that you do. But yeah, thanks for having me on your show.
Thank you very much. I wanted to find out where does boxing fall into your story? Because I mean, you're a football player, and now you're taking part in quite a brutal sport, I'd say. How did that all come about?
So yeah, it's certainly a brutal sport, but it's certainly a sport that growing up, my brother was an amateur wrestler. So, and boxing, I think, is also similar. When I say similar, it teaches you a different type of discipline. And I would say that even at my peak, I used to do kickboxing when I was playing for Charlton at my peak of my career. And then I got injured, and then I did a bit of boxing with, at the time, was our fitness coach, who at the time who had before been Lennox Lewis' fitness coach. So I've always found boxing interesting. I think it's a massive, a fabulous sport, and again, like I said, the discipline and the control you need, and obviously growing up and watching some of the the major heavyweights fighting, and then the Haglers, the Hearns, and obviously Tyson. I mean, I love Tyson as a young fighter in his prime. He was phenomenal. Then I read his story and you understand. And then I was very fortunate to meet our own Dingon Tubela, the Rose of Soweto, and meeting Brian Mitchell, our own fighters. And then obviously the late Corey Sanders. So I've been around boxers through other events, being golfing events, this and that. But a major admiration for boxers, and it's a sport that I certainly respect. And yeah, so I've well, don't want to say I've dangled with it, but when I've had an opportunity, when I was injured for a period of time, I took a bit of boxing up, and like I said, boxing or kickboxing to try and get fit. And so it's a sport I have a lot of admiration for.
Now, I believe that you originally are from this side of the world, although you are training in KZN at the moment. So I was gonna paint a picture of Blue Bulls versus Sharks, but I believe you support the Bulls as well, if I'm not mistaken.
No, 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 no,
Oh
no, no.
no, you
You're very
don't.
mistaken there. I will stop you right there. I
Okay.
am not. So that is the interesting thing. So I was born in Cape Town. My mother left my father, and I grew up in Pretoria.
Okay.
Went to Sunnyside Primary. Went to Pretoria Boys High. And I'm proud to say I'm not a blue bull. I am a stormer. So I've already challenged Mac. Told him that I am a stormer.
All
I
right.
saw today that he unwrapped this new gift that he got. It was a gift it's the new Blue Bulls shirt. So I challenged him and I said, Mac, why don't you just wear that on fighting night? Because that would inspire both of us. You a Blue Bull, and it would inspire me to knock you out as a stormer taking on a Blue Bull. But no, on a serious note, I am a big rugby fan. I love rugby from a young age, and obviously went to Loftus and experienced many games. And my proudest moments were when Western Province or Stormers were beating Northern Transvaal or the Blue Bulls at Loftus. But yeah, again, another sport that I have a lot of admiration for. But I am certainly a Stormer.
All right. Well, that paints that picture. Of course, then a little bit of rivalry there as well. In terms of the fight venue, you coming up back to Pretoria again, to Silver Lakes to fight Mac in his backyard, if we can call it that. What's your thoughts on sort of the events as a whole and the location? Does that impact you at all?
So no, certainly, I would think that just I want to say a couple of months ago. So I've been now nearly 4 years down in KZN, and it was just a couple of months ago that someone said I am an actual Durbanite now. So I don't know what that means, but I obviously do. So will the altitude affect me? Will those sort of things? No, I'm quite comfortable going back to Pretoria and fighting in Mac's backyard because I grew up there and I know. Pretoria well, and I know the city. But yeah, just the actual venue. Again, it's a charity event, but it's a charity event where we are fighting for all the right things and the things that we stand for as individuals, and just to to be able to raise funds to change the lives, if it's not of one, of 10, or of people that we are able to have an effect on. So it is certainly a charity boxing event, but it's also event where I think that both of us are been training hard, and both of us are taking it seriously. Obviously, we know we are an amateur, so we're going to have the paddings and certain things that is needed. But again, I do feel that it's we have to give the individuals that are paying the money to come watch, or to for the event, that we certainly have to give them their money's worth. So I'm looking forward to it. A boxing event with a different sort of kick to it, being Mac being a blue ball. I actually even asked him if he was a Kaizer Chiefs fan, and I'm a Orlando Pirates, because that would add even more fire to the fire. But yeah, no, it's exciting, and I'm looking forward. I think I've never met Mac. But what I see of him as a person, looks like a good person, someone that we certainly is doing a lot for the underprivileged, as much as he can do, and being out there and being an open and clear, obviously personality, not only for Blue Bulls but in Pretoria and on Jacaranda Radio. So a lot of respect for him, and yeah, it's just an opportunity for us to do what we possibly can do to, as I said, hopefully change a few people's lives.
I wanted to also focus on the boxing side of it as well, with regards to your training camp, what you've been doing in the fight and the preparation, and how do you get in shape and ready for a fight like this?
So I have I train quite often anyway. I've put that into my own daily routine, because it's something that keeps me sane and it keeps me out of mischief, which is very important. But yeah, I've I trained a bit of boxing last year before even I knew about this event, with a person, with a trainer here in Mshloti, and then got invited to do this fight. And then I've been training with Marcel Mayhem Buerta, who is the White Buffalo's son, which is Francois Buerta's son. So he's taught me a lot. He's teaching me how to how can I say, more discipline, and obviously teaching me one or two things that I can do in the ring. The training's been superb. He's kept me focused and in shape, and obviously sticking to what I will be able to do best. I am not as young as Mac, so I'm not going to be running around the ring and chasing him. That's certainly not. But has taught me one or two things that I should use. And I think it's one or two things that I saw his dad and Francois Botha do in the last. Well, I think the last two fights that he had here in South Africa, I watched them both at Emperors and Monty's, and how he just he used his experience and his weight onto the opponent, and so from a boxing point of view, I think he's given me everything he possibly can. I've done everything I possibly can with the physicality, and being able to use what will be best for me in the ring on the night. So I'm looking forward to it. It's obviously going to be a massive challenge. I don't know what Mac is coming with, but soon, obviously, I don't want to say it's like any other sport, but it is a competitive sport, which at the end of the day is, well, however I approach it, is obviously Mac will have to adapt, and vice versa. We'll both have to adapt to what the other one brings. So it's exciting to see who's going to be the attacker and what's going to happen on the night.
Well, there's no doubt what would happen if it was a football match. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
But in his last fight, Mac fought against so does the Blue Bulls announcer versus the Lions announcer, and Mac was seemingly very comfortable in that one. In terms of expectations, have you seen any footage on what he can do and what he has been in there before?
So I think I've seen only the videos that he's posted on Instagram, and certainly I think that that could be deceiving. Who knows? Maybe they're showing these videos to think. But at the end of the day, I'm going to say that I I have to believe in what I know of and what I feel my body can do. And certainly, I do think that it would be a challenge because at the end of the days, if Mac is comfortable in ring, then I'm going to have to make myself comfortable in the ring, and we're going to have to, at the end of at the beginning of the fight and at the end of the night, you have to see who adapts best to the evening. So, but yeah, I'm sure if he's comfortable in the ring and he trains regularly with his coach Sebastian, then there's something that we will have to adapt to. But at the end of the day, it's a fight, and it's some. I'm sure that Mac himself, obviously he's been training hard and he wants to win and prove a point. And I just want to go out there and just do the best I possibly can for myself, which I do feel at the end, if I do that, then who knows how I'm hoping that it goes the way expected.
So let's put it this way. I know that it's obviously for charity, but you guys are well, he's competed in a celebrity boxing fight before. You're a sportsman at the end of the day. So there's a competitive nature to it as well. I mean, the win at the end of the day, there must be that dangling thing there saying that, you want to get your hand raised.
No, no, for sure. So, I mean, I feel it when I spar that when the guy sparring with me hits me in a funny way, I promise you, I want to get stuck into him and roll with him. But obviously, that's what I was trying to explain about what about the discipline and not, and having certainly having a plan, a game plan of how you want to fight. So, definitely, if Matt has had a fight before and he's like you said, he's comfortable and he's a Blue Bull fan, so he's obviously very very competitive. And 100%, I'm a sportsman and I am very competitive. So I will give my all, and as I expect of him, and I expect it to be a wholehearted, good two men competing for a win and doing the best they possibly can on the evening. So I'm looking forward to it.
Do you have a message for Mac maybe before you step in the ring with him?
No, I think that there's no message. I think at the end of the day, I have a lot of respect for Mac, and I think that what he's when I look at his social media and what he's trying to achieve and being the person he is, I wish him all the best. But at the end of the day, it is a boxing event and it is a fight. And at the end, well, can't even think what I want to say, but you'll just listen to my intro, my that's going to come in. That should liven him up, and you will certainly know that he's in for a fight.
Oh man, I can't wait. So this Friday, we're in fight week already, September the 5th at Silver Lakes. Um, Anything lastly that you'd like to add, just before we, wrap this one up?
No, no, no. Just once again, thank you for the opportunity and everyone that's involved. I think bringing this event together, and I think that if we can have more of these events where we're focusing on a sport that has been around for a long time, and it's a fabulous sport, and how we can try and influence the youth. I think again, being able to box is not about trying to knock someone out. It's about being able to protect yourself and be able to do what you need to do. So boxing is a fabulous sport, and if we can give more exposure to boxing in a good way, then certainly I hope that will be achieved on Friday night.
Awesome, and I wanted to wish you all the best for the fights. We're still waiting for Mac to get back, but I'm sure we'll catch up really soon with him and we'll have an exchange on fight night. All the best for it.